Hey there, Alex here. Today I have with me the KBEAR Neon, a product that I have been eyeing since it was announced, so without further ado, let's dive right in and see if they are any good. The KBEAR Neon comes in a box with graphics that match its name. Everything is decently presented, and it comes with a nice set of accessories as well. A simple but solid carrying case, 3 pairs of silicone ear tips in different sizes, and a pair of foam tips. So far, so good. The Neon has a resin shell which feels solid, and I think it looks great too. I know this red and blue shell isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. It looks great, and it's easy to tell the left and right side apart. I'm also a fan of bullet style REMs since they are a lot easier to wear for me. They are using a 2-pin connector, which might be a nice bonus for some folks who are concerned about the durability of MMCX connectors. The included silver-plated cable looks pretty good to me, and they are easy to work with. The included ear tips are fine, but the fit is just okay for me. It protrudes out of my ears a bit too much for my liking, so tugging on the wires can move them around a bit. I tried to use the smallest tips I could find, but I just couldn't get it to go any deeper, so I guess the shell is just too thick for my ear canals. Moving on to sound, they have a mid-centric tuning with rolled off sub-bass and treble, probably due in part to the limitation of a single PA driver, so you're not going to get rumbly sub-bass or sparkly treble here. There is still a decent amount of bass for my taste, and it is pretty tight and clean sounding with almost no bass bleed. Mids are forward in the mix, which is something I usually like, but I'm not really a huge fan of how they sound here. Deeper male vocals are fine for the most part, but when it comes to brighter male vocals or female vocals, they can sound a little weird. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it's almost like I'm listening to a lower bitrate file, so maybe compressed is the word I'm looking for, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, upper mids are really polite and not shouty at all, but I find that in certain tracks, there can be a very tiny bit of sibilance for female vocals if I compare it to something like the ER4XR. It's not enough to bother me at all though. Treble, as mentioned, is rolled off, so some instruments can sound a little dull to me. Detail retrieval is just okay for me, which is something I wasn't expecting from this Knowles PA driver. Soundstage is not the widest, and imaging is just okay. Tonality and timbre is okay in the lower frequencies, but like I mentioned earlier, the mids can sound a little off to me. I do think they will work well with EDM because of the faster bass, and deeper male vocals sound pretty okay too. I know it's a bit of an unfair comparison here, but the ER4XR is the single PA benchmark for me. And no surprise here, the ER4XR is noticeably better sounding in almost all regards. Detail retrieval, imaging, treble extension, and whatnot are all better on the ER4XR. I don't have the ER2XR with me anymore, but from what I can remember, I like it more than the Neon as well. I paid around $130 for them in Singapore and still thought they were a pretty good deal. Not to mention, if you're in the US, there are pretty crazy sales from Adorama that bring the price of the ER2 SE to about the same as the Neon. So in the end, despite really liking the design and the accessories that come with it, I'm not a huge fan of how they sound. That said, I have seen quite a few folks who really enjoy their Neon, especially with a deeper fit, so while it might not work for my ears, it might work for yours. Thanks for watching this video, and see you guys on the next one.